Hey everyone, it is Fitz with your daily delivery. Hope you're doing well. I'm very good. I'm wearing blue today. What are you going to say about it? This is dark blue. This is turquoise blue. Blue is my favorite color, which is fitting because Kansas State men play at Kansas on Saturday. But this is different blues. It's not their blue. And we're going to talk about something at his press conference today that Jerome Tang said that was really interesting because it points to a new plan for the future of Kansas State basketball. This one hasn't worked. We know that. And if you want action, it appears they're taking it. I'll get into that right after I remind you that we really need you to subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you're not, quit being a freeloader. I'm calling you a freeloader. It doesn't cost you anything. Go ahead and click that, hit the thumbs up, leave comments. We appreciate it. Jerome Tang is not admitting, but admitting that Operation NIL transfer portal did not work, and it is not working for many programs. So now what do you do about it? You're kind of in midstream with this plan, and the stream is about to drown you. So let's back up. In the last DD, we talked about his new idea of playing the guys that need some experience, like David Castillo, and getting them out there, see what they got. We might see some of that playing in Lawrence, but he also knows that environment could destroy your confidence for years if you're not ready for it. So how he mixes up his player rotation in Lawrence will be very interesting because he really is committed now to building for the future and not just using the portal. He said that at his press conference on Thursday. And what's interesting about it is he's shifting to a very familiar plan. And let's keep this in mind. Basketball, we talk a lot about football going to 105 scholarships and expanded roster. Basketball, men's basketball, is returning to the 15 it was until years ago. They cut it to 13 while the women stayed at 15. Never made sense to me. But now basketball is returning to 15, and that gives a coach a little more flexibility to do a little of this and a little of that. As he focuses on the players who really want to be here for years ahead, he's talking about bringing back a majority of this roster. Honestly, I don't see how that's possible, but I appreciate that thought. And then at 15 scholarships, they've got some room. And yes, he's talking about starting to bring in a lot more high school players and developing them. And here's exactly how he laid out that plan to mix a little portal with returning players and freshmen to get a better product.
We're looking at every different avenue to try and figure out how to get this thing to a place where we're returning the majority of our team, very much like Coach Klieman has done with football.
That's right. You talked about Chris Klieman there and how Kansas State football does it. When they point the NIL inwards, you're going to come to our program and you're going to play, and then we'll raise your NIL as you've earned it. You won't have to go outside of here to get a higher NIL unless you really get something absurd that someone wants to offer you. We will advance you through the NIL process as you'll make more and more money at Kansas State and bring in some players from the portal. I think this is a good plan. Unfortunately, it's going to be hard to institute that plan right now. Why? In part because they're well behind on high school recruiting. Their attention has been on the 5 stars because the original plan was hit home runs with high school kids and bring in experience with the portal. Well, getting too portal heavy simply is a mess. It can work, but it's a roll of the dice that Kansas State's missed on now for 2 straight seasons. So the problem here, the grand problem, is that this plan will take more than a year to lay out. But folks, you've got to remember this. Jerome Tang just signed a new contract. The buyout is staggering for Kansas State, even if it wasn't going into the revenue sharing era of college athletics. The numbers are incredible. You can argue all you want about the contract, should have been signed, but I didn't hear many people screaming against it when it took place. And now we're pretty sure, because of that, Jerome Tang's got at least 1 more season at Kansas State, probably 2. And it's good, because this plan, this undoing of what happened this year, might take 2 years to get done.